Go ahead, Seth Rogen.
Spears and Steinberg. You know what the it is? Aries and Andy. Chew and the jerk. You know it's time to get this work. The real raw, gutter, uncut, cold. No political corrections. Always sleep. Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes. Scribe, we lit. There's levels to this shit. Before you was on your mama. Aries Spears don't give a fuck. We talk about race a lot. Racism. Much love to my loyal bag holders. Rollers. Loaders. We got them in the folders. The whole world on our shoulders. Spears and Steinberg. Yeah!
So Steve comes to us from Sam Lee. Porn titles, oh Steve. Yo, what's up, Aries and Andy, Mark II. I hope life is treating y'all well. Got a couple of funny porn titles for you. Nutting Hill from the movie Notting Hill. William Thicker is a London porn store owner whose humdrum existence is thrown into common turmoil when famous American porn star Anna Slobs appears in his shop. A chance encounter overspilled cum juice that leads to a French kiss that blossoms into a full-blown affair. As an average bloke and glamorous porn star fuck closer and closer together, he struggles to get it back up to their radically different lifestyles in the name of cum. You've got mail. There's an intimate scene in the movie where Kathleen Jelly and Joe Box alone together sitting on the bed in a dimmed room. Joe reaches his hand up inside Kathleen's skirt. While Joe started rubbing, he suddenly stopped, looked into Kathleen's eyes, and asked, "Oh, Steve?" Coming out of that in 3, 2, 1. Maybe it's because I didn't see You Got Mail, so I don't get that.
I didn't get the old Steve in there, but it was clever that he set up the whole thing. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, maybe if I saw the movie.
I saw it, but that's like, how old is that movie?
I don't know.
It's a long time ago.
Since You've Got Mail was invented.
Yeah, You've Got Mail.
That's how old
Since
it is.
AOL. Yeah,
AOL.
You've Got Mail.
1999.
99?
Jesus.
We're old, dude.
My God.
We are so
How many
old.
years ago was that?
29. 26.
Jesus. MNE 5020, Sinners. Hey, Aries and Uncle Andy. So the scene where Annie was feeding her baby was definitely needed. The scene where Smoke knelt down at the baby's grave, there was a bottle of breast milk on the grave, meaning Annie never got to breastfeed her baby. When Annie made Smoke promise to kill her if she got bit, she said, "Somebody is waiting for me on the other side." It was her baby. That's why the scene was needed.
There you go.
I still don't know that it was needed. It was a beautiful kind of, moment, but I don't know that it was needed.
I don't know that it's needed, but at least I like how he made it come together to tell the story, why that was there. That makes more sense now.
Yeah. Okay. I actually saw that again.
Yeah, you said that. I want to take Tara to see it too.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see it when it streams. It's just going to the movies is such a pain in the ass where I live.
Why?
Because there's one theater that is close by. That's not difficult, but they don't have a lot of movies playing, and not at good times because of her. So we have to go to the city, and then it's just
Like like New York?
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen a movie in New York since Jesus. I'd like to do that just so I could say I saw a movie in New York. When we came out of the pandemic, there was an action movie. It was one of the first times I've been seeing a movie again, and that was in New York. New York is, it's fine. I like going to the movie theater in New York. It's just getting there, and then you got to go to. If you go there, then you want to do all the other stuff. Let's go to dinner. Let's go. Yeah, make a moment.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I just
You
want to
don't-
see.
you
I
don't
just
like
want.
it?
I just want to see a movie. Sometimes I just want to see a movie.
You and Tara never want to just go into the city and call it a night? Like go out and...
By the time she gets done working, then we go over there. Yeah, not really. I don't really. I like going to the city, but it's just it's such an event and so much to do. And right now, there's a lot of problems with the train, electricity that's happening at the pass station, and then if you take an Uber, it's just
What's happening with the electricity?
There's a problem with they're doing a lot of reconstruction in Hoboken, and I don't know what's going on in Newark with the EWR airport. That airport, they don't have enough what are the dudes that watch the planes? What are those guys called?
Air traffic control.
Yeah,
Retards.
they don't have enough of the air traffic controllers, and they lost power twice where they couldn't see the planes on the radar.
Jesus.
And and I fly into that airport, so I'm really I'm happy to be taking the train these next couple weeks, and then I'm taking it to Buffalo. No, I'm flying to Buffalo actually. Damn, I might have to readjust that, and then we're. And then we're going to be gone for a week in Canada, so I don't have to deal with it. But it has me a little. I'm not going to lie that I'm not nervous because you can't keep having all these problems and there's not going to be an issue. There's going to be an issue. So, a lot going on in New Jersey right now.
Nick Puente, proof of identity. Oh, I meant to say when I said I saw Sinners twice. Boy, that white chick, woo. Sexy.
Yeah.
And then you stuck your tongue in my coos and it's so hard. Woo. Boy, if you don't get the out of my face. What was that other great line?
You can't steal this, and you can't steal this pussy? That's a great line.
So you can rob people in banks all day, but you can't steal this for one night? Let me tell you something, man. When a sassy white woman delivers dialogue like a black woman, it tickled a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Did you feel it in the balls? Did you feel
I felt it, nigga. I felt it. My had a heartbeat. It was life, nigga.
I like that line though. That's that one where she's you can rob
banks and people all day, but you can't steal this for one night? Shit. Nick Puente, proof of identity. Yo, what's up, Aries, Andy, and Mark? You see now, Mark, how they including you on the hellos?
I love it. Thank you.
But y'all got to come up with some creative names for Mark, like how you be doing with me and Andy. What's up, Uncle Andy and Big Aries? Y'all got to come up with some for Mark. The homosexual. I have some opinions on episode 671. First, I'm not a huge fan of this whole transgender movement. If you can cut your off, then call yourself a woman, or go to a building, buy a snap-on, and call yourself a man. I should be able to identify as a black man. I'm not saying being black is cool. I'm saying I qualify. Well, why aren't you saying being black is cool? I grew up in the hood. I eat fried chicken. I drink grape soda, and I f white women. Jokes aside, I'm still a Mexican who grew up in black culture. At the end of the day, I can't identify as a black man, so why must I accept the delusions of others? Rhetorical. Next, I agree about this whole Shannon Sharp thing. He's legal, she's legal, it doesn't matter. However, money and fame mean nothing. My dad is 52 and his girlfriend is 30. He doesn't have money, looks, or fame. He's a big donut eating and a trade school instructor, and pulled abroad half his age. Maybe it's the white tiger theory. Regardless, after age 18, age is just a number. Safe travels. I disagree with you. Listen, man, again, it's legal. I won't ever do it. 18-year-old twat doesn't mean you just get twat. You get 18-year-old behavior, 18-year-old mindset, 18-year-old want to do activities. And at 50, I'm not doing 18-year-old.
He's just saying it's legal and there's no reason for people to...
yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, that's all he's saying.
Yeah.
I understand the reasons why not to. But I also understand when I was in my 40s and Tara was in her 20s, it was fine with me. It worked out fine. And Tara was more mature than I was, and it's fine. But Tara's an exception. It's not the rule.
Yeah.
But here's the other question, though, when you're like in the Bill Belichick thing, which is even a greater divide. I mean, listen, let's say Bill Belichick and his girlfriend, are they even together anymore, or did they?
I think so. They are.
Okay.
Real relationship.
Okay,
not like Shannon Sharp
so
shit.
let's say this: they love each other, but let's just take their age examples and take away those people. They're not in this equation. They love each other. Let's move on that. But the same scenario, age-wise. Who's getting who? Yes, the older man, somebody might find it creepy that he's with this younger woman and he's getting the younger woman. She's getting someone who's established and is financially secure. So who's using who? And if you're both using each other, isn't it equal then?
Yeah, theoretically, yeah. But you're supposed to love the person you with. You're supposed to genuinely love them.
It's a lot easier to love someone when you don't have problems. And if you like a young girl and she likes someone who's established, there's less problems.
You know, and I don't think any woman ever would. But wouldn't you just? I guess the woman would because it would hurt your feelings. But wouldn't you want to just be like, look, we're not stupid. You say you love me, okay, but at least tell me it's for the money too. Like, tell me, let's stop.
Is the money or is the money attractive? Listen,
Is
Bill Belichick look the same when he walks into a restaurant if he was poor?
Yeah, you'd have that look.
But he can walk in the restaurant, he can pay his bill, he can do everything. That's also desirable. And women are attracted to power and desirability, and money makes you more desirable.
But when you're 73.
There's some old balls.
Come on, man. Come on. Just be honest and be like, she could go, Bill, I do love you, but, you know, it is because of the money, too. But who's going to say that?
No one. But if you're in your 30s and you're dating someone you're 20, she's 25, you're 35, that's 10 years. That's not terrible.
No.
But the guy is established and and has a great income. Is she required to say that too then? Listen, I love you, but, you know, you have money. Thank you.
That's a brutal honesty for your ass.
Yeah. I just think that's part of the calculation of attractiveness.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have no swag, you have no personality, you're not a great dancer, but you got a lot of money, there's some attractiveness. The money is part of the attractiveness.
Yeah.
If you have lots of swag, you have a great personality, you like dancing, whatever it is that makes you that person that people gravitate to, and you don't have a lot of money, that's not in your attractive realm, but your other stuff makes you attractive. Money is part, I hate to say it, but I don't want to say money. Financial security is part of attractiveness.
Of course.
So it's fair.
But do you if you're that girl, you could probably get a bunch of rich dudes, but somebody like Bill Belichick, where you have the entire nation.
That's power. That's the power, the fame, and the power.
Whore.
No.
Who wants that?
Well, maybe Bill Belichick really loves his girl. Who knows how he feels about it? Maybe she feels special because of the way he treats her.
Yeah, I'm sure they love each other.
What rich 73-year-old man wants some 70-year-old?
I told you, I don't like when people give me used Christmas presents. I want brand new.
Used Christmas presents. Mail team, Baltimore show review. Hi, Aries and Andy. I just wanted to say that the Baltimore show at Magooby's was the best comedy show I've been to in a long time. And I go to a lot of comedy shows. I've even seen you both multiple times, and this was your best one yet. I met you both after the show, and you were both so kind and humble. I really enjoyed you both. I also have a suggestion for the pod. You all should get out into each city if you have time on each episode. Review the food or clubs or hotels, etc. Also, y'all should start the show with a drinky drink and a toast. Just a suggestion. LOL. Love you both. Blessings to you. You know, I'm going to tell you, man, and I told Andy last night, the energy was so great on those shows, particularly the second show. Yeah, it's official. Cleveland stinks. It's like, I'm telling you, people, I wish you guys could really understand what it's like when you go from, let's say 10 cities, 9 of them phenomenal, and then one just stinks. It's you. It ain't the comedian. So for them Clevelanders that go, you just ain't funny, have better jokes. No, if my works in 9 out of 10 cities, and you're the 10th, and you don't, it's you. You guys stink.
I'm going to do my impression of you and your thought process that's been going on for the last couple of weeks. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Man, this water's good. You know what? This water's so good. This water is nothing like Cleveland, man. Cleveland, water in Cleveland tastes terrible. All water in Cleveland's terrible. Everything that's good to you right now is against Cleveland. You hate Cleveland so much. It's just everything good that happens is good, and Cleveland is the opposite.
It's warranted hate. It is warranted. Cleveland stinks.
It's not everything. I understand what you're feeling, but you're holding on to this animosity for you don't have to go back there.
They offend me. It offends me how bad they are.
Listen, I'm telling you, I'm here. We're in Baltimore. We're in Timonium, and I'll tell you what Cleveland has that they don't have out here.
What's that?
Good coffee. I have not had a good cup of coffee since I've been out here.
If coffee is the measuring stick to your city's greatness,
you know, it helps me in the morning, and I have not had a good cup of coffee. They had the great coffee out there, man.
You should bring your own on the road.
I should.
Maybe do like a French press.
Dude, I would hate myself. I wouldn't look at myself in the mirror if I brought a French press on the road.
what is a French press?
It's that little glass that you put hot water in, you put the coffee in, then you push this thing down, and there's pushes all the grounds down the bottom, and you have nice
What's the difference between coffee and cappuccino?
steam milk.
That's it?
Well, and how much? It's an espresso with the. It's not coffee. It's
Wait a minute. So is cappuccino and espresso the same thing?
an espresso is the way that you extract coffee. You extract the juice out of that bean with water. So an espresso is a very dense cup. It's still a coffee bean, but it's a very dense cup that it's smaller. Then you add the way you put steam milk in, how much steam milk and how much foam depends whether it's a cappuccino or a latte or a flat white or many of the other little
God,
drinks.
I'm not a coffee dude, man.
I like a lot.
My dad was a big coffee dude.
I like coffee and I like lattes. I do like lattes. I even feel really silly when I said that. I felt like Mark right now when I said lattes. It's just
That description was spot on of everything on the internet.
was it?
Yeah.
I did all right.
You are a coffee aficionado.
See, Mark checked me though. I want to make sure that I knew what I was talking about.
Mark, when you go to Starbucks, do you order a Frappuccino homosexuality?
I got a venti caramel macchiato, hot.
Oh, that's funny. I like coffee, so I like a latte with nothing else in it besides the milk and the foam, or just a coffee with a splash of milk.
All right. My dad used to coffee with 2 creams and 6 sugars.
I stopped the sugars because they're not good for you, but
So coffee by itself is good for you?
yeah, coffee by itself is
Really?
Black coffee is really good for you.
Get out of here.
No,
In
I'm
what
serious.
sense?
It's good for you. It has a lot of different things that help out your body. I don't know, and black is the way to go.
So if you put cream in it, it's f***ed up now?
But it's just not as good for you. There's fat in it.
You get a lot of calories too.
Yeah. So black coffee. If you
But black coffee is like nasty,
no
right?
man, I can drink it in the morning. Sometimes I don't want to with it. I'll brew a cup of black coffee and just
Isn't
have
it strong?
It's strong, and I don't like things really, really hot, so I have to wait for it to cool down a little bit. That's the thing. I put cream in I like a little bit of milk in my coffee just to cool it down a little bit. For most of the reason why I put it in there.
Yeah, when I need to get going in the morning, I drink Pepto-Bismol with vodka.
What do you call that?
I don't know. Matthew Carte, Untold Documentary. What's up, A&A Short and Sweet? Watch some of these untold documentaries on Netflix. There was one called Shooting Guards about the gun incident that happened with Gilbert Arenas. I love when you guys review documentaries, TV shows, and movies. Enough love from your nigga from Toronto.
I love the name of that, Shooting Guards.
Yeah. Oh, double entendre, right?
Yeah. For 00.
Oh.
Agent 00.
Dude, somebody had suggested, and if you're listening, tell me again what was the name of the movie that's kind of like The Purge, but with werewolves.
The Purge, but with werewolves? Oh, I want to see that.
I want to see that, but I couldn't remember the name of the movie they said it was.
I like this. I want to see this documentary, though.
Shooting Guards?
Yeah.
Okay.
The name. Yeah, I like when you get a good title for something.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, people like when we talk.
I think it's called Werewolves.
Is it?
It's just called Werewolves?
Does it say what's the description say?
The
The Purge meets
Werewolves.
Okay, it's called Werewolves. Yeah, what is it available on? I'm sure it's.
I just want you to know in about 3 minutes I'm going to take out my phone because I want to win this comic book right there.
Okay.
Is it Apple TV? I don't know. It doesn't
You guys
say
are with me.
anything on Netflix.
I'm trying to win Ghost Rider. It's the origin of Ghost Rider. It's in Marvel Spotlight, and I'm going to bid on it. I don't know why. I just
You want it for pleasure? I mean, like to read it, or
no. It's
to one day make money.
yeah. Yeah, make money.
I don't know why I would ask you that. You always got your Jew hat on.
No, mate. You know what it is? I like comic books, and the market has been all over the place. So if I can get a few comic books that I actually enjoy having, and they're cool, and they have some investment, probably it's not the best investment in the world, but I like it, and they've been the right comic books hold their value.
Okay.
So,
Sean, man food, short and sweet. Watch Havoc on Netflix. Ed Hardy, Forrest Whitaker. It looks like it was filmed, but it was actually filmed. It looked like it was filmed here, but it was actually filmed overseas, which is why Trump wants to put tariffs on movies. They are filled outside. That are filled outside. I have to say filmed. $10, a lot of money. I'm putting a tariff on your email. All right. That are filmed outside the USA. That's it. I'm out.
I saw the movie that he's talking about, and I didn't see it. I saw it. I wanted to watch it on the plane, and I didn't.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm too worried. I've never been nervous really about the bounciness of the plane.
Turbulence.
Yeah, that turbulence.
Yeah.
But when lately, like I've been nervous this last couple weeks. So yeah, I didn't watch a movie. I just I sat there.
Clay. Just some questions. What's up, Aries, Genius Spears, Andy, Doodoo Claw, Steinberg, and last but not least, straight nasally gay dude. I'll see somebody came up with a name for you.
What was it?
Straight nasally gay dude.
Oh, thank you.
I have a question for the three of you.
I think it's nasal. I like calling him nasal. Go
Nasal
ahead.
gay dude.
Just nasal.
What are your thoughts on comedians doing Q&As? I saw a comedian a few months ago whose performance left a bad aftertaste of curry in my mouth. I like that he specifically said curry. Yeah. I went to the show expecting jokes, but it was all boring crowd work and a Q&A for the last 30 minutes of the show. I thought I was tripping until I overheard the audience member say exactly what I was thinking. We came here for jokes. The is this? I forget his name, but he's always with Andrew Schultz. Lastly, Aries, any word on the Wild Cards movie? I can't wait to see it. That's it for now. I wish you all the best, Clay. You know who the dude is that opens up for Schultz, or who's with Schultz?
He opens up for
He
Schultz?
says he's with Schultz.
Type it in.
Is it
Type it in.
Akash or whatever his name
Type
is?
it in.
Yeah, what the we got you for here, you nasally gay
Opener?
I know a lot of people who do crowd work, and we talked about this, but a lot of people who do crowd work will have Q&As to limit people from interrupting their shows because, we didn't get all the way into this. I kind of wanted to keep it general when I talked about it, about what Justin Lake said, but I think a lot of this is that it causes problems for comedians that aren't necessarily crowd work comedians, that the people are seeing online that this crowd work is happening at comedy shows, and they think that all comedians are supposed to be able to do that.
Right.
And not all comedians do. So a lot of them are doing Q&As so that they can have that interaction, do some crowd work with them, but it doesn't interfere with their regular set.
Right.
So, as you said, I like what you say best, how you describe it. You got a quarterback that plays for within the pocket but can scramble when they need to.
Yeah.
Some people don't scramble, so they break it up into a different section. And you know who's been doing that, though? Matt Rife had to start doing a little bit of that because people were coming to the shows and they were interrupting the set so much that he had to just say, hey, we're doing this then. That's what I heard. I don't know. I've never been to a show, so that's what someone else told me.
Jesus. What a meteoric rise.
But it's hard because the audience, a lot of times when you're introduced to a comic, let's use Matt, because Matt I think is the best example that, blows up, he's doing a certain style, and you like him, and so that's how you're introduced to comedy. And so when you go to a comedy show and you go see someone else, you're expecting that same thing, and that's not. People don't understand. Everybody's art form is is individual, so it's not going to work out. Well, who is it?
Couldn't find
It
him.
wasn't good enough description. So he's with Andrew Schultz, like he
Opens up for him on the road.
Nah.
But he wouldn't do a Q&A if you're opening.
No.
Maybe.
He was doing his own show that week. He went to go see him doing his own show.
Oh. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's going to be too time consuming
Yeah.
for something that ain't worth it. Devon 07, and I appreciate this. He drew some artwork. What's good, A&A? You guys continue to rock. Still enjoying the many topics you all cover. Vaughn, the artist here, day one listener. Just for fun, I took a shot at trying to put a face on some of the Aries comedic personalities, not in any kind of order. And the drawings are Hurley and Suann, Brett Butler, Yaspia McQuah, and I have no idea how to spell it, LOL, and Bert Bridgewater. And I hope you guys laugh out. I hope you guys get a laugh out of these. Hope to see you guys at Magooby's in Maryland this weekend. It's easy to park there and be more than DC, LOL. And now, before I show Andy these, you know who you didn't draw? Bobby Patterson. You left out Bobby. Tell me what you think. So that's Hurley and Suann.
That makes sense.
All right.
Makes
That's Yaspir McQuah.
I like the Yaspir McQuah a lot.
That's Bert Bridgewater. I don't know why he looks like a werewolf.
You know, but there's a little bit, I can see a little bit of Burt Reynolds, so it works for me.
And Brett Butler.
And Burt Butler, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
like these, man. You know what I would love for you to do if you could, Devon? Like, give me something in a bigger size that I could, because I'd like to frame these.
I wonder if those are real size, though, if you hit them and then printed them. Yeah,
but that I couldn't hang. That's, you know what I mean?
That's 8.5 by 11.
I mean, like a real.
Oh, like a bit, like 11 by 17.
Yeah, and give me Brett Butler. I mean, not Brett Butler. Bobby Patterson. Dude, I saw a thing again. You know those Chuck Norris things. Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
I saw one that floored me. It said, "When Chuck Norris wants to taste honey, he chews bees."
That's a good one.
Yeah, you got to put Bobby Patterson, kid. You put everybody but me. It's a real simple drawing. Just draw me and my and you know whose ass. Bobby Patterson, by the way.
I like the thing. I don't know if it's come out yet or if it's this next week's when we're the Bobby Patterson, his girl, but it has the Tom Brady shirt.
Oh,
on
that
backwards.
was hilarious, dude. And then Bobby has a shirt with Larry Bird on it. So Larry's looking at Tom while I'm the girl. That's great. Lewis Jones, no subject. Dear Aries, I enjoy watching your podcast. I can appreciate Andy's perspective on things. I usually don't write emails. I just felt like compelled to say this. $10, a lot of money. I watched you on Tiger Belly, and I understood everything you were saying, but what Deborah was saying just felt right to me. It made me look inward and want to make good. I think you are an elite comedian. We all just have different paths. I know it sounds good, but give what Deborah said a shot. I don't got to lose. It won't hurt to try.
You already got a $10 lot of money.
My goodness. Do you see how I read when people put in the punctuations and it's right? I'm telling you, it's a night and day. All right, Lewis Jones. You don't got shit to lose, but you did lose a couple punctuation marks.
What did Deborah say that he's referring to?
There was one moment where I was talking about what I talk about with you here about not having certain things, and she basically said that I'm morally bankrupt. I love Deborah, but she can be too intense sometimes. That's why when you go, we should have her on the podcast. We could have her, but goddamn, dude, buckle up.
No, I would love to have her on the podcast.
Oh,
she'd probably beat the shit out of me too.
No, she wouldn't. She's one of the sweetest human beings on the planet, but goddamn, she can talk. Desmond Allen. Greetings, gentlemen. What up, fellas? I rarely follow through with emailing into you guys in my Tony Soprano voice. Why would that be in your Tony Soprano voice? Anyway, but I'm in my work truck catching up on the 3 or so pods that I hadn't listened to yet. Yo, I'm in tears. First off, I refuse to watch that Sing Sing flick y'all were talking about. Aries, all your questions and jokes took a lip-smacking sound. Sus turn after that. Maybe that feminine-ass bro man rubbed off on you, LOL. Second off, people try and give Andy and want to claim he's a racist tendencies because of the Trump but it is official. I heard the proof. When that Geflight taco eat confused Slick Rick and Key Sweat, if that isn't the most mayonnaise ever, isn't he the guy with the eye patch? I had my brain in high gear trying to figure out who the he was talking about. Shake my damn head. Damn, Andy, you still my nigga, though. Lastly, Aries, I hear you say often that you listen to Opie and Anthony sometimes. I was wondering, did you ever check out Patrice's The Black Phillip Show? Just curious because that was genius. Anyway, be blessed and keep wrecking the game. Deuces. I'm not sure what you mean when you say sus turned after that.
No, because it wasn't. There's no bromance in it. The bromance is human. It's about rescuing someone's humanity. It's not about a love.
You know, Andy, we have to accept that there are people out there who we're just better than. You know what I'm saying? We come with a certain level of empathy and maturity and humanity that some just don't have.
Well, and then he's giving me shit about the name. It's the names. We were talking name, and I said I up. I don't remember. I can't remember half the time. I don't remember what Al Pacino's name when I have to give Aries clues to get to that. So yeah, I up on the names. That's going to happen a lot.
Dude, I tried to get into Black Phillip.
Why didn't you like it?
It's not. When he's on Opie and Anthony, him and Anthony Cumia have a peanut butter jelly like chemistry where they work off each other. Anthony's honest about his racism. Patrice don't give a shit that he's a racist, and it's just it's beautiful entertainment. Patrice is on there pretty much not by himself, but he's got Dante Nero with him. And again, Dante tries to come off as this lady aficionado like Patrice is, and when you know how Dante looks, it just throws me. This just looks like
Hold on.
a biker slash pirate at 300
what's his
pounds.
last name?
Dante Nero.
Nero, Nero. And I'm just like, dude, I can't. It feels like you trying to do what Patrice is doing. You trying to be Patrice, and I'm just not buying it.
This dude?
Yeah.
You know who he looks like?
And when you see him in public, he's got a lot of nose rings, gauges, a lot of biker jewelry. And I'm like, nigga, I can't do it. I can't buy it.
He's got big ears.
He looks like the dude that you said that was the skinny fat dude.
Yeah, the most
Oh,
in
no,
shape.
the lot of in shape, yeah.
The most in shape fat I've ever seen. Yeah, no, and I'm telling you, the way Anthony and Patrice work off each other, it's gold. It's comedy gold. DJ Bangswell. Just jokes. What's good, Aries and Duck Dynasty? You know that's you.
Yeah, I know that's me. I don't think I fit that, but I think I used
know he's
to.
talking-
I used to.
He's talking about the beard.
Yeah, no, but
Oh.
remember when my beard during the pandemic, my beard was.
Dude, before the haircut, I didn't realize until we see the old footage. Man, your was wild, Joe.
Dude, what I look like on my favorite images that are caught of me are on what's the podcast we were on together that the hip hop podcast.
Drink Champs.
Drink Champs, man, dude.
Man, son.
That's how I want to be remembered when I'm dead. That's how I want to be remembered. That look right there.
Goodness.
That was me in all my if you pull up the one from Drink Champs, if you can pull that up, that's where I feel like I've reached my pinnacle of who I am.
Just making an observation. Don't Mark look and sound like Jeremy Piven's character in Rush Hour 2? That's crazy.
Is that an email?
Huh?
Yeah, it's in the
That was so gay. Oh. But yo, I have some movie recommendations. Beau is Afraid, starring Joaquin Phoenix. It's a dark comedy horror flick about a dude who's scared of the world and must venture out and face his biggest worry: people. It's a sick, wild adventure, a slow burner, so grab your favorite gal and strain, spark up, and enjoy. Also, American Fiction, another comedy satire type flick starring Jeffrey Wright. It's a funny, smart movie about a writer who's fed up with publishers wanting to... Oh, we did that.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah, the cliche black stories. He jokingly writes a fake, over-the-top street novel, but it blows up and becomes a hit. Aries, I think you'll definitely dig that one. Two good movies that surely stir up some good convo on the pod. As always, keep it pimpin'. Your boy's Nels. How many more emails I need to send for that personal song? LOL. Oh, wait. That'd be too hard. I'm trying to think of what the Asian dude from American Idol. She bangs.
William Hung?
Baby. Yeah. DJ bangs. Well, but I don't. There's not nothing to really other than she bangs. So, no. What was his name?
William Hung?
William Hung.
Is that it? Oh,
Yeah, that
was
is
it.
it.
Yeah, it is it.
You can't be called hung if you're not hung. Genesis Rex. Sounds like a dinosaur. Watching Sing Sing because of Aries and Andy. Hi, Aries and Andy and Mark. If only I heard of your podcast before sending my previous email this morning. You said I should watch Sing Sing, but I was one step ahead. I was listening to the latest episode, 665, via podcast because of time zone issues. And when you two started talking about Sing Sing, I felt like watching it. Again, the voodoo shit. A bit later is where you mentioned I should watch it. Just as I was plucking it from the internet. This sounds like a film that I should watch with my girl, so I'll wait till she returns upcoming week from family visit. Thanks for the hookup. Mine's are like, take care, fellas. You know, I'm curious, did any of you guys watch that Gone Girls? Because I'm surprised nobody wrote in and
I haven't watched
talked
it.
about how good that was.
I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it? We talked about it. You did watch it.
No, I watched some of it. I didn't finish it.
How much did you watch? It was
Three episodes.
I watched the first half of the first episode.
But you saw the other ones?
No,
So how were you able to talk about it?
we talked about it a little bit, but that's it.
We talked about all 3 episodes.
No, I know we did. Okay, I watched. No, I did, but I didn't. It wasn't. It didn't. I didn't remember it. Like I'm saying, I didn't. I talked about it with you.
Yeah.
I watched it, but I went back and watched the first episode
We
over
talked
again.
about it in depth.
I didn't like it that much.
That's not what you conveyed when we talked about it.
How'd you know so much about it?
Well, I mean, I probably should have paid more attention to it. I talked about it, but when you say, did you love it? Is it the best one that we've seen on there?
Yo, you did not give off that energy when we
Oh,
talked
I'm thinking
it.
about the different thing. I'm thinking
Yes,
about a different
you
thing. Yeah,
are.
I am. I'm thinking about
This
something
is why
completely
I
different.
don't want him on his phone.
I told you I was going to be on my phone right now.
I told you. This can't focus without the phone.
Here, you guys can see.
So with the phone, what you think is happening?
Yeah. No, because I got the names wrong. I got the names wrong in my head. I do that when I'm not on my phone.
Exactly my point.
It's only 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
I
We'll
know.
find out.
I know.
This is exciting. People should be into this.
Yes, they should. Yes.
Ghost Rider's supposed to join the MCU.
He's never been in the MCU?
Yeah, but like on they're supposed to add him into the movies.
Yeah, those movies have never done particularly.
No, because of who was Ghost Rider.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage. That's as best as I can get.
That's pretty good though.
That's as far as I go. Marquez Bimage, Texas native. Hi, Aries and Andy. It took me a minute to figure out why I wanted to send this email, but after being a consistent listener for some time now, I felt like I had to contribute to the pod. Aries, I'm 26 years old, black man who earned degrees from both, what is that, Utah? UT?
Yeah.
Is that Utah or that's the college UT?
Utah. Yeah, I think it's Utah, isn't it?
Austin and the University of California, Berkeley, all while playing football. And coming up from rural Texas, my dad used to buy your All-Star Comedy Jam sets on bootleg DVDs. Well, thank you, nigga. Illegal activity. Half the discs would be in Chinese. Oh, I was way too young to be watching it, but ever since then, my perspective on Jay-Z using all the chapstick because of you has never changed. Right now, I'm working toward a doctoral, is that how you say that? Doctoral degree focused on supporting athletes and prioritizing education at the collegiate level. With that in mind, go easy on us Southerners. We're not all slow to digest sharp comedy. Feel free to roast me if needed, but I've heard you mention that a few times. Also, I'm a huge Dave Chappelle fan. I once stood up for his comedy in grad school at Berkeley. I was definitely the outlier. How do you say that?
Outlier.
Outlier, and to be honest, should have read the room better, but felt compelled. A lot of former college pro athletes have trouble just saying they're fans. I'm a fan of your work, not an idol worshiper, but I give credit where it's due. And one last thing, why do you always look like you want to smack Vlad every time he says, I know somebody or I interview them, even when it's uncalled for? Your emotional intelligence is through the roof. It's hilarious and annoying at the same time, but I get your hustle. You got to show face on this platform. You and Andy keep doing your thing. I'll definitely be in the crowd for your next set in Austin or Houston. I'll make sure to say what's up and remind you of this email when I do. All the best, Marquez. Listen, Vlad, to his own admission, is a ridiculous narcissist. And there's nothing this doesn't know, doesn't do, hasn't seen, hasn't interviewed. We started talking about the Diddy trial coming up. And he goes, you know, I actually talked to some somebodies on the inside of the Diddy trial. I said, of course you did. Of course you did. You know everything about everything.
You know, he's been on, is it Fox he's been on lately? Or CNN. But he's been on one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've had him on. Vlad is now he's broken through, he's mainstream. He's on regular channels. But
I might have to play this one. You got it? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, there it is. I might have to play this clip from him with Vlad. Vlad and Godfrey. Because Godfrey, he started to say something, I think about reparations, and he said something about it would bankrupt the country. And Godfrey challenged him and said it would bankrupt the country. And when Vlad thinks he's right, he, like me, he asserts a certain amount of dominance. And he tried to say to Godfrey, yes, bankrupt. And then Godfrey went on a rant of just highly intellectual and broke it down. And I reposted it, and I wrote in my caption, I wish I was as intellectually sharp as Godfrey. I mean, I know I have moments, but I know I'm not as sharp as Godfrey. Godfrey's intellect level is on a different page. I know what I know, and what I think I know pretty well, but there's levels, and Godfrey, if we were rebounding for position, he pushes me out of the paint.
So Vlad was saying it would bankrupt the country.
Yeah.
No, did COVID bankrupt the country?
Well, put a pin in it, because before we go, I really want to play that and get what you want to say about that. Because the way Godfrey attacked it was brilliant.
No, I'm going to agree with Godfrey.
Yeah.
But you can't bankrupt a country that's already bankrupt.
Well, you know what? Since you're there.
We're $34 billion in debt.
Since you're there.
We're bankrupt. You gonna play it now?
Yeah. All right.
100%, if not more. Black people who would get that, it would bankrupt the whole country.
For the people that built the country to make you the money, all of a sudden now you worried about being bankrupt when you spend trillions of dollars on defense, trillions of dollars on unnecessary, trillions of dollars to send black men, especially to jail, trillions of dollars to drug the up our whole country, trillions of dollars to the food up, to air up, the water up, trillions of dollars to make people sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker in this country, but you mad? We don't have the money because plain and simple, you do not like black people. It is very obvious. For hundreds of years, we've been the most hated. Within that hatred comes the hypocrisy of loving our culture. You've made trillions off of our culture. White musicians, all of them, have made money off of black culture. All of rock, all of jazz, all the we created from the oppression, which is in itself the oppression and the abuse and the rape and the putting down of us. We create blues, jazz, rock and roll, reggae, ska. We invent all of that shit. And to top it off, we invent all the mod that you all use. From the video game cartridge, Henry Lawson. We got the pacemaker, Otis Boynton. We have the late Dr. Bath, who created the laser eye surgery. We have Dr. Gladys, who's still alive, who's almost 80 years old, who created GPS. We have the guy who created the algorithm for Instagram, who's a 21-year-old Ghanaian kid. We've done all this then the internet was discovered by a Nigerian guy in the 80s. Like, we've done all of this innovation, even though we've been shit on and continue to be shit on every day, right? Because nobody wants us to live anywhere. Nobody wants us to have this unless we're playing sports for them athletically or sexually satisfying. All black people are good for. We're supposed to be at people's beck and fucking call when they want us to entertain them or make them some kind of money. But if we ask for being autonomously wealthy on our own, being autonomously having our own, all of a sudden everybody pitches everybody has a fucking hissy fit. You don't want us in your neighborhood. You don't want us in your schools. You don't want us doing anything. But then when we say, hey, okay, that's cool, because Muhammad Ali said, hey, man, I think we should have our own state. I don't want to live amongst you. Like, well, why not? You don't want us around. You're segregating everything. And then as soon as we want to go, white people start panicking. You know, we don't want to be around you, so you can call us We're tired of white cops shooting us. We're tired of this pissing contest that these white cops have because they're afraid of black for some reason. Because most of this black envy, we're tired of that. So what about this? Why don't we just give us what you owe us, and we can go on and do our own shit? But no, they don't want that. White folks especially hate autonomous black happiness. They do not like when we are by ourselves doing our own shit. They cannot stand that. They don't even like us in a group. Whites always got to have their hand in our shit. And if they're not part of it, then we're back to being spoons and spades and all this other.
I agree with him on like 90% of that, maybe 95.
What part didn't you agree with?
Well, there's a couple things. It's not, well, one, the first one is, let's get to this. White people like black people. They're afraid of black people. And they're not afraid of black people. They're afraid about what they've done throughout black history. And they know that there's something deserved on that. They know that there is something that it's their guilt that they hold that makes them uncomfortable in black rooms. That's what that is. There's no denying that black people, there's no denying that white people, not all white people, because there's racist. I mean, racist. And when I say racist, I mean the white power people that want white only. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the average white man walking around the world knows black people are cool. Not all black people are cool, but black people in culture are cool. No, that's not. So I disagree with that part, but I understand what he's saying, where he's bringing that from. And that's like in this economic way, in working in my business, dating my daughter, and living down the street from me. Are those things okay? Are white people okay with that? And for the most part, most white people are okay with that. I believe that. And again, you may differ with me on this, but I've grown up enough in enough neighborhoods and around enough people. Cities like New York, we all live, we're all working together. We all live together. It's part of it. It's a different culture. It's taken forever for this to go down. I disagree. A lot of people will disagree with me. I don't believe in it for slavery. Slavery's been throughout the world the whole time. But as far as for the Jim Crow laws that happened in this country, we had a war to end slavery here, and then we name slavery and put it in a different way, and we have receipts. We actually have tax numbers, IDs, Social Security cards. At that period of time, we know who got, and you could hand every one of those people a check. And if you want to go after it differently from there, that's up to the people to figure that out. But I'm saying, without a doubt, I would like to see the argument to say that isn't deserved to be paid out. I can't. We're gonna hear. You could hear arguments about the slavery. I know you will hear arguments about it. But have you ever heard any politician try to defend why, from Jim Crow laws, that couldn't be paid out? I've never heard any of that, and that's where I really. Why did we go through a war? Why did we go have a civil war in this country? Why did we do the things that we did, and then, in a few years, revert back to a different form of slavery? And if that's the case, start there. From that point on, you can take it to a different place if you want to afterwards. But from before 60, before the Civil Rights Act, when they got rid of all the Sam Crow laws, got to the South, cleaned all that up, and don't forget the North was affected by all those too. Maybe not the same way, but they were affected by it. Why can't that be paid out? That's easy to track. You know who was there. You have their addresses. You have their names and their addresses. That's where I disagree, because I think that's easier to start there.
Since we're on
isn't Godfrey, like, aren't his parents immigrants? from Africa?
I think so.
He never went through slavery. His family never came from slavery.
Don't hit me with that white.
Well, he keeps saying
fucking
we.
talking point.
It's like, he wasn't. But I agree with all his points.
You agree with all of them. See, I don't agree with all of them.
I mean,
Since
for the most
we're
part.
on this energy,
kinda.
this is from PG. Andy is MAGA. Attaches a short clip video from YouTube on what businesses are going through, especially small businesses. Andy will say this is good. Trump was on tape bragging after his stock market manipulation, saying this guy made $2.5 billion and this one made $900 million. How can you be okay with people stealing money from American citizens? They don't care about you, Andy. Neither side does. But one thing we can do is admit it. MAGA will never admit when Trump is wrong. Andy, why don't you do that? Why don't you do what you do with the Why don't you do, Jesus, Andy, why don't you do what you do with the Democrats? Say what's going on. Don't say what you think is going on or what you think they mean.
No, I do. And the reason I have to do it this way is because most of the media, most of the general, what is it? What's the media called? The mainstream media calls out Trump on everything they do. I have to call it the Democrats. And when when Biden was elected and I voted for Biden, I said, all I ask is that the media hold Biden as accountable as that they held Trump over this last 4 years. That's what I asked for. You, sir, did they hold him? Did they hold him as accountable?
He's not as corrupt as Trump.
Are you foolish? Because it wasn't reported on. It wasn't reported on. The guy is in a coma in the White House. And there's 4 other people running the country that aren't the president. And what media?
No.
What
I'm
part
saying,
of the media called out?
What I just say? I said he's not as corrupt as Trump. Trump's selling meetings for $1 million at Mar-a-Lago.
He's not as corrupt because he was in a state where he wasn't running the country. The Democratic Party.
He's making money off of meme coin,
He just said that the Democratic
Party. It's the scammiest ever.
Call him out, and they do. Did I have to call Trump out for that, or is that in the mainstream media? Who in the mainstream media?
I'm saying, why are you cool with that?
Shut the up for a second, because this pisses me off because you talk over me, and I don't like it when you do this.
I'm just a gay dude.
Yeah, a gay dude. Well, put it in your mouth and shut the up for a second. Why didn't anybody in that media, in the mainstream media, call out when they knew that he was up and he wasn't running the country? Why didn't they call that out? And that's my problem with the media. That's why I switched my sides.
Because of that?
Because the media doesn't hold him accountable. Do you pull up George Carlin and the joke that he talks about, where you don't have to be in a conspiracy doesn't have to happen in a conspiracy state. It can happen when all the people are in line because they went to the same schools, they work in the same place, they do the same things. That's what's happening with the Democratic Party.
At the end of the day, during that debate, he got ousted. They ousted him. No one's going to oust or say to Trump.
Okay, they ousted him.
He's your king.
No, I don't like Trump as a person. As the president, I wish we had a better pick. Who was the better pick? You thought Kamala was a better pick.
Yeah, she seems...
She does.
She
seems
more normal.
Yeah, she does. She seems a lot more normal.
And she wouldn't have done this tariff. What was the conspiracy?
Yeah.
So while you're looking at Devron Lee says, Andy was right. Dear Aries and Andy, I've done my research, and Andy, you were right. Trump might be a racist, but he tells uncomfortable truths that most politicians won't. His policies usually benefit the people classified as black, who are really the original American Indians, not African Americans, not immigrants, but the true indigenous people of the land. The term black is a legal trap. It disconnects us from lands, rights, and history. The Democrats use us for votes, while Trump exposed the system and pushed back against the global powers that have had the U.S. on a leash since day one. Even MLK realized this before they killed him. He said we were integrating into a burning house because he saw the system wasn't built for us. It was built on top of us. The system wasn't built for us. It was built on top of us. Even if people read Dane Calloway books or just looked up the $5 Indian scheme, they'd understand we've been erased and replaced on paper, in school, and law. It's time to wake up, learn the common and constitutional law, understand financial literacy, know who you are, stop falling for the hype. Let's talk about it. Peace, Devron.
You know, and I do get pissed off when you talk over me. You can talk, but then finish a point and let someone else have a point. This is what makes me mad with you. But I'm going to tell you what he just said right there. He doesn't get the mainstream media will call out Trump for everything and anything. When they're saying now that it was whatever our decline was in our economy this time. They were talking about it not like America's in a decline. This isn't good for us. Trump is wrong. They went, America's in a decline. There's a giddiness and a happiness in it because their hatred for him is beyond what it needs to be. You can hate his policies. I don't like the guy. I wouldn't want to hang out with the guy. I don't trust the guy, but I hate it the other side. I hate it the other side because there was no accountability on the other side. And you say it's because they don't do as much bad. Okay, they don't do as much bad. How about some bad? How about all the stuff that Obama did that they're calling out Trump for that is the same exact shit that's happening right now? And that was never called out. Why? Because Trump has a stupid face. That's the problem. He has a stupid face. I would like to punch him in the face. He has a stupid face. He says things because he likes antagonizing people, and that's how we get here. Please do whatever you want to say.
I'm the opposite of you. I dislike the, but I would love to hang out with Trump.
I would not.
I'd love to go golfing with him.
I would hate to go golfing with him.
I would hang out with him just to see if we can grab some girls by the.
I don't want to hang out with him. I don't like his attitude towards people, towards money. I'm offended by the fact that there's people that he didn't pay when he's filed bankruptcy that he knows is going to cause them to go bankrupt. I don't like his personality, but structurally, over what was called out from his side versus what's going to be called out for the Democratic Party, I am totally at odds with the Democratic Party. They own, they say Jews own the media. Democrats own the media. Democrats run the media, and they don't call out their kings. They're not even kings. They're what they worship. They're gods.
Yeah, but the Democrats are more critical of Democrats, the media, than
they're more critical
the right-wing ecosystem is of their god, Donald Trump.
You
have to kiss his ass. You can't
who
say
cares?
mean things.
If you kiss his ass or don't kiss his ass, I don't give a about him. Here's the problem. They love being emotional. They talk in emotional. Your greatest argument when we were talking about immigration the other day. Well, this person came here when they were a little kid and their parents are illegal and they shipped out. Yeah, they broke the law. It's an emotional argument. Do I think that someone who's lived here their whole life should be shipped out of here? No, I don't. And that's an emotional law. But the law was broken to initiate this. And when Trump says we need to end birthright citizenship, it's because of that. People are rewarded for breaking over the wall, coming over, having a kid, and then their kid is a citizen. What is the purpose of the law? What is the negative side of doing something illegal if you can make your son a citizen?
Well, again, it's not being emotional if you're just following the laws. And that's what the law is.
Laws have consequences, right?
You guys can change it, but
that's my
Congress
point. But when he says we could change the law,
a...
when we said we need to change birthright citizenship, everybody went nuts.
Because it's steeped in racism.
It's not steeped.
Brown people.
It's steeped in people breaking into the country. And you break into the country, what is the punishment for breaking into the country? Laws have to have a consequence if you want to enforce them. What is the consequence for breaking into the country?
Yeah,
what is
you get deported if you're
No, but what is the consequence?
Illegally.
What is the consequence right now?
What's the consequence?
If you break into the country,
deported.
If you break into the country,
it's the same as it's always been.
Really? In a sanctuary city, what happens when you break into the country?
That's not what a sanctuary city is.
I want to know, what is the consequence?
You get put on EBT, you get food, you get housing, you move up past people that have lived in this country, who've served for the country, that are homeless. Why are they being rewarded for breaking into the country? You say Brown. I'm saying people that climb over the fence, come into the country. If there is no consequences, why wouldn't I jump over the fence and have my kids be American citizens?
If there are no consequences?
If there are no consequences, why not do it? What is the worst thing that
can
can happen to you?
You do it because this is the greatest economy in the world. So if you
$34 billion in debt. Tell me how great the economy is here. $34 billion in debt. Trillion. Sorry, you're right. And thank you for making the point even stronger. So what
But that doesn't matter. We still have we're the world's...
Are we?
Our currency is the world reserve currency.
Is it going to stay?
Well, not with Trump, apparently. It's down 10%.
Well, You think that's funny, but it's not.
I know. That's why I voted for Kamala.
No, but he's trying to adjust and get rid of that big balloon. What are we going to do?
What's the plan? There is no plan.
Here's my question for you. If you want change, because we know we need change, and Democrats want to do the same thing, and the party wants to do the same thing, and the media wants to do the same thing, how can you ever make change? How can you ever change that number? Tell me how you change that $34 billion number without making a change and without making it uncomfortable for anybody.
Increase taxes, cut spending.
You can't.
You can't?
No, because when you cut spending, when Trump tries to cut spending, when Doge goes in, who's doing the right thing, people are going, they're ruining it, and they're stealing, they're doing this. Elon Musk is just trying to make more money. It's ridiculous what's being said.
Yeah, but Biden was getting the deficit lower. In fact, Democrat presidents probably, I haven't seen it, but they probably actually tried to get
the last time
lower.
It was a Democrat. It was Bill Clinton.
Well, I mean, even Biden was getting the deficit smaller.
Dude, not at all.
Deficit, not the
Yeah, he's bringing down the deficit. He was bringing down the yearly deficit. No, he. How hard was it after a pandemic? You're going to bring down the deficit after a pandemic.
No, there was increased spending. Same with
so
Trump
it's
and
so
shit
it's yeah.
and
So
Biden,
it has to come down,
but
right? So he did it, or it has to come down.
From
so
other
naturally
levels.
it would come down.
No, because he's probably responsible.
He wasn't even alive. I don't know what he was doing
what
in
is
there.
This? He's not alive. Look what Trump's alive. Look what we have. What number of tariffs are we on? What's the percentage?
Higher than it was before.
It's higher, then it's lower. There's no strategy
was higher
towards
than it was
any
before.
of this shit.
He's getting
and
people.
now
He's getting people to
small
negotiate.
businesses are going to get fucked.
Are they?
Yeah.
Where's the small businesses right now?
If you buy anything from China,
But why do you want to buy anything from China?
Because that's where it's made.
Why?
Your products are
Okay, now unwind that.
okay, but
Where have the
use
jobs
logic of okay, so just right off the bat, we're just going to put tariffs up where people can't get their small.
How many
businesses can't
tariffs?
get
How
their
many
shit.
tariffs have went into effect?
How many?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
How many tariffs have went into effect?
I don't know what you mean by it.
How many tariffs have went into effect? You're
There's
saying these tariffs
against every country.
How many of them have went into effect? How many have went on pause? How many have changed? It's being used.
We don't
as,
even know.
It's being used
What
as
is
a
it?
threat.
What's the-
It's being used as a threat. It's being used to get people to renegotiate.
Yeah, and what happens when they don't?
I don't know. It hasn't happened yet, has it?
China's not.
They just sat down.
They just sat down for some coffee and chips.
No,
That's
they didn't.
all they fucking
No,
did.
they didn't.
They weren't even there to meet. They were in Switzerland for some other.
Hold it up.
Didn't Trump just make a deal with the UK? Didn't we just?
Yeah, but we don't want anything from the UK. They don't offer us anything.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, them we have a trade surplus with. Why was there even tariffs on them if it's all about?
I don't know what the surplus is. I don't give a fuck about the UK. I'm
They
talking about
buy
China.
all their from
We
us.
shipped out all of our jobs.
Okay, we don't need that many more jobs. There's already like hundreds of thousands of good paying job openings currently. And we're going to bring back dumb jobs over here.
Yes, because
we don't have the people. We're going to have to let more
No.
Mexicans come into this country.
Great.
And they're not good paying jobs.
They could be good paying jobs. The reason we don't have any benefits anymore is because when we shipped out all of our jobs to the other countries and minimized the jobs, minimized the workers, that's why we don't have insurance, health care in our jobs anymore. That used to be something I used to work. I used to work at a grocery store and I had those kind of benefits.
Okay, well, listen, there's so much
You're young.
wealth already
You're
in
young.
this fucking country.
No, you're young.
They
and
can
you
give us health care. They can give us more benefits, all that.
You just said the key word, and this is why I'm done with this conversation.
Also, it take years for factories.
You just said, yeah, it will. But there's been a surplus of money that's come into the country. I got like 21 billion or trillion dollars that's coming in for manufacturing jobs. But besides that, you said the greatest problem that I have with everybody your age and most of the Democrats. You just said they have enough money. The key word was they can give us. It's never been given. It's not given.
All right, you took that word, but
no, because that's the word that you use.
We could pass healthcare, like better single payer healthcare, where everyone has fucking healthcare. It doesn't have to go on a GoFundMe to fund their cancer and like that. We can have that in this country, but we choose not to. We choose to spend more for a quality product compared to all the other countries in the world.
Really?
Well, the first world, you know.
Which countries?
I mean, you just look at like all of Europe.
Okay, Europe. Which other country? Which is
Guessing, you know, South Korea, Japan.
Canada above us. Canada that's right above us. Where do the people in Canada that have money go to get their health care done?
Where do they go?
Yeah, where do they go to get their health care? If you have money, where do you go to get your health care?
I don't know how each country's set up.
Where do you?
They're all different.
They're
not
come to the
all
United States.
Same thing.
They come to the United States because the health care, when you pay for it, is better health
I
care.
know, but people have GoFundMes to fund cancer. Like they get cancer, they have to have a GoFundMe. That's pretty regular occurrence. That is a sign.
Okay,
that
so if I go
shit
to a
is
country, if I go to a
wrong.
socialist country that has health care, but I have to wait, make an appointment, I have to determine that my cancer is at a level that has to be treated at a certain time, or I set up a GoFundMe and I get treated by one of the best doctors in the best hospitals and get the best service. Which do you want?
Listen, everything's different. How we set up the system is like it
There's
doesn't have
holes.
to be
There's
exactly
holes
like
in
that.
all the systems, right?
But
That's
you know
what I'm
what the
saying.
biggest hole in our system now is? People are worried about, oh, should I pay for these treatments or should I just die?
Okay. And
That's
so
the worst outcome there is.
So which one of these systems did Trump set up?
Well, he's not helping to fix it. That's the point. The
No,
Republicans,
no.
they're not for any of
That's
that
what you
shit.
decided, that they're not helping to fix it. Do your work. Don't just.
What did he say he was going to do for healthcare? Except strike down the ACA. The significant healthcare system by our first black president, this wants to take down.
No, he wants to improve it now. He wanted to take it down before. Have you read anything about what he said about it now?
We're going to make it better. Whoa.
Can you do it for him? Because that
We're
was
gonna
good.
make it better.
Thank you.
We just need to work.
Anyways, I think Trump's an idiot. That's why, yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Well,
But you want to go hang out with the idiot while you go.
I want to grab some pussies.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, I don't want to play golf with that.
You don't think it would be fun to hang out with Andy?
No, I don't. I don't. I would be too angry. He has a
I think
position.
you're a little too emotional about this subject.
No. I'd be too angry with him because I don't like what he's done to people. But I do think that his policy is better than what we were going to be offered. And I don't think, even if her policies would have been good, she would have never been held accountable.
Why would you want to go play golf with him? So you could just look at that big broad ass in them pants.
Gay men like big juicy asses.
There it is.
He's got a peach.
There it is.
Is that a show?
Can we name this one Big Juicy Asses?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Put that image in my head.
Yeah. How about some dates?
Yeah.
I gotta go pay for this comic book now. Dates. Routing. Tell you guys at the home office, Aries, to make sure the routing's right, because when I read it on the podcast, the dates are wrong. What?
No, what am I doing wrong here? Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Guys, you're listening to this. We're going to be in, where are we going to be? I think we're going to be at, where's that? Way over here. Honeybone.
Oh, Jesus.
I think you're going to be hearing this when we were in Helium Comedy Club in Buffalo. Yeah. And that's May 22nd to the 25th. And then we're on our way to Canada. May 26th, we're going to be at Bella Rose Arts Center in Halifax. May 27th, we're at the Olympia in Montreal, Quebec. May 28th, we're at Bronson Center for the Arts in Ottawa, Ontario. May 29th, we're at the Regent Theatre in Oshawa, Ontario. May 30th, we're at Danforth Music Hall in Toronto, Ontario. And May 31st, we're at the Wilbur Theater back in the States in Boston to go see Aries Guy.
Massachusetts kid.
June 6th to the 8th, we're at the Louisville Comedy Club. We're in Louisville, Kentucky. June 13th to the 14th, we're at the Funny Bone in Omaha. We haven't been out there in a while. I'm excited to go back out there. June 19th to the 21st, we're Wise Guys in Las Vegas, our first time out there again. And May 26th, we're at through the 28th, we're at the Olson Run Comedy Club in Eugene, Oregon. July 5th, Margaritaville Casino out in Bossier City, Louisiana. June 12th, Fitzgerald Theater in Minnesota, St. Paul. July 17th to the 20th, Helium Comedy Club in Portland, Oregon. And July 24th to the 26th, we're going to be at the Comedy at Carlson. Where is this? In Rochester, New York. We haven't been there before. You've been there?
No.
That's where we're going to be.
Yeah.
You got anything to add?
Nope.
That's it. That's the show.
Big juicy asses.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit spearsburgpod.com.